Greetings, everybody. It's your old pal Frank here, and happy whenever I decide to post this. For me, it's currently Saturday afternoon. Now, this is a video response for the GOAT, the one and only Brandon Jensen. And even though he is currently sitting at 540-ish subscribers, it is all in due of celebrating passing the 500 subscriber mark. And how is Brandon, a guy who is, I'd say, in my corner of the card community here on YouTube, because the card community is quite vast. In my corner of the card community, he's legit a legend. When it comes to whether it be a giveaway or just a random act of kindness or whatever, he doesn't just, send a couple of cards. No. He sends like bundles of cards. And not just like one or two. He'll send you like 6 or 7. And then he always sends like a really, really nice note. Like I actually have here, I have a note from Brandon actually, because not too long ago, he sent me a package of cards as well as some of his old like military challenge coins and patches and like stuff that I still feel I don't deserve to own, because I myself never actually saw active military duty or anything. The furthest I ever went was Air Cadets, so that's saying something. But yeah, real, like, goes above and beyond for his racks or his giveaways. And to be honest, I have never had the honor of meeting Brandon. I say yet because you never know what could happen. If you manifest it into the universe, anything is possible. But I know Jason of Canadian Card Breakers has met Brandon a couple of times. And just from their interactions and the videos I watch that Brandon posts on YouTube, I could tell he's one of the boys, because I was just watching Cash and Dad's VR entry this morning, and I say Brandon, I could tell, is one of the boys because of his humor and whatnot. And I've been in a few live hangouts with them, and yeah, he's the kind of guy that I would love to have a beer with, or 6 or 7. But also, Brandon seems to be like a real salt of the earth kind of guy, give you the shirt off his back kind of dude, like most military guys are, and I love that. So all in all, yeah, Brandon is just straight up good people. And for his 500 subscriber giveaway, he basically wants you to go in depth, and he doesn't care how long it takes. Now, you know me. I could talk for a while, but I mean, it all depends on how long you guys actually want to stick around and watch the video for. But he wants you to go in depth about collecting. Who do you collect? Who do you PC? Do you PC one specific player, a couple of players? What team do you PC? Etc., etc. Now, with a lot of people, I'm sure they could probably bang out a 10-minute video, no problem, talking about something like that. With me, that's an interesting question. What do you collect? Because Well, as you can see just behind me, you know, whether it be Superman, uh, baseball, Transformers, comic stuff in general, wrestling, Funko Pops, etc., etc. I collect a little bit of everything. When it comes to cards, when I first started off this channel, 5 or 6 years ago already. Wow, that long. Jeez. It was primarily, I think, baseball, because, excuse me, my local dollar store, or to those of you in Canada, Dollarama, they used to sell repacks, double 80 card repacks of baseball cards for $4. And that's what basically got me back into collecting, because I would buy these 80 card packs, and a lot of them were mostly filled with a lot of 80s junk wax. So I was like, okay, well, if it's so easy to get these 80s cards, maybe I'll start building the sets. And that's why, I'll take you off the stand here. Don't mind the mess over here, but down here, let me move this here. We have, that's 86, 87, 88, 89. Those are the 4 sets that really got me back into collecting. This binder here, that's all Series 2 Young Guns from various years, starting with 2018-19. But anyway, so yeah, so it was getting those repacks and getting a lot of that mid to late 80s junk wax that really got me back into the collecting of building sets and whatnot. And then the channel started progressing and everything. And then I think it was 2019. That's when I started with the, you know, let's start focusing a little deeper on stuff. So let's do a top 10 list of the 10 cards you want to find throughout the year and everything. And of course, Grail card, or, you know, big card on my very first list was the Carl Yastrzemski rookie card. And luckily, it's in the display case, but I got it. And then following that, I started, you know, a top 10 list every year. And then as I started watching more YouTubers, you know, card tubers, whatever you want to call them, there were certain cards that they would be showing off, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool, and oh, wow, I wouldn't mind getting that. So some influence was involved. And then I kind of shifted from just doing baseball to getting into hockey. And even till now, it's always been mostly hockey and baseball. I will venture every now and then into football and basketball, but it's like just dipping your toe in the water, you know? Like, I don't know a lot about basketball and football. Now, if it's more vintage stuff, well, I mean, vintage for football, I mean, sure, I would love to own like a Joe Namath rookie card, or a Dick Butkus or something. I've been watching enough videos from the National and seeing some of those cards show up as people are panning over them. And the prices, I don't know if I'm ready for pulling the trigger on any of that stuff yet. Even basketball, like, I I would love like a Bill Walton rookie. Now, of course, since Bill Walton just passed away not too long ago, I know prices will go up. That's the norm with a lot of cards and stuff. But so when it comes to football and basketball, I'm still quite the novice and whatnot for a lot of players. And of course, if it's a player that I actually like, 9 times out of 10, it turns out their stuff is really expensive. I don't know why I do that to myself, but it just happens. Anyway. So, going back to progressing and collecting and whatnot. So I went from just strictly being baseball repacks. Then I ventured into starting opening some hockey and whatnot. And then after that, let's say fast forward all the way to now, because to recap, 5 or 6 years, it's a little tough. Now I collect a little bit of everything. I do, I'll collect your 4 core sports, the hockey, baseball, basketball, football. But I also love collecting wrestling. Don't have a lot of wrestling, but I love collecting wrestling. Being a child of the Attitude Era, love it. Love my non-sports stuff. I mean, Marvel, DC, if I can find some cool Marvel cards or whatnot, 9 times out of 10, I'm getting them. And then if I see what the set looks like, I'm probably going to try and put the set together, like with the 91? The 91 Impel set, I think it is. Anyway, or the 94 Flare Ultra, whatever, or even the 95 set, all that stuff, or even the Marvel Masterpieces, the Hildebrandt set, all that great 90s stuff. Love it. Anyway, being a guy who used to collect comic books before I went back to doing cards, it's a no-brainer that I'm gonna have non-sport Marvel or comic cards in my collection. Anyway, also I love my Garbage Pail Kids. I mean, I've just recently started putting them in their own binders. So I went on a website called GPK. That's GEEPEEKAY, and I find it's like the best website out there for Garbage Pail Kids knowledge. And there was like a PDF file on there, and basically someone printed out all 15 original, like original series fronts for binders. They did the checklists and they did the spines. So since I am building all 15 original series sets, I printed them out. I wish I could have done it in color, but I printed these at work, and we do have color printing at work, but I didn't want to get in trouble. And since it's back to school time, these 1-inch or 1.5-inch D-ring binders are really cheap right now. And it's only like 10 pages per binder for each set. And so I'm putting all this is, again, series 1. So putting them all in here and whatnot. If you want to see the big boy there's your atom bomb. But anyway, so I love GPK, Marvel, all that stuff. Wait, let me get a sip of coffee here. Oh, that's good. Oh, I know a lot of you out there love my coffee cup, so I figure I'll show it off for you. Old Batman and Robin there, fighting Pengy. So love all that non-sport stuff. Now, when it comes to who do I PC, a lot of you already know. but, and you're going to see some of his stuff. Don't worry. It depends what sport you're talking about. Now, when it comes to hockey, being Canadian, there's one player that I PC out of everyone. Now, again, growing up in the 90s, growing up in that era of watching hockey when it still was, rock'em sock'em hockey, one goalie. One goalie comes to mind above the rest. Now, in the 90s, you had tons of great goalies. I mean, Patrick Waugh, Dominic Hasek, John Van Beesbrook, Eddie Belfour, Curtis Joseph, Chris Osgood, But Brian Hayward was a good goalie for San Jose. Nikolai Khabibulin. Byron Dafoe. Trying to think who was the one for Anaheim? Not Jean-Sébastien Giguère. He came in the 2000s. Was it Guy Hebert? I think. Jim Carrey. Trevor Kidd. Trevor Kidd was the goalie. Tyson Kidd, basketball. I always get those two mixed up. Anyway, so there was a lot of great goalies in the 90s. But for me, it was hometown boy Martin Brodeur. I don't know what it is. Just Marty, he just did it for me, man. Oh, I also forgot Ron Hextall, but he was 80s into 90s. Anyway, I don't know. Marty he did it for me, man. And I remember watching, watching him on TV back in the day. I remember the infamous duel between him and Dominic Hasek, just an all-out goalie clinic. And talk about both guys standing on their heads, not wanting to be the first one to let a shot in. And, well, unfortunately, Dominic Hasek won that duel, but it was just a pure masterclass. Brodeur being the leader of all goalies with actual goals, 3. And I remember watching 2 of the 3 of them. His play with Team Canada, all-time shutout leader, all-time games played. The list goes on. Hall of Famer, it was a no-brainer. So, getting into the collecting thing, when I was really getting into the hockey again, I started hearing about super collecting. And I was like, what the heck is this super collecting? And actually, this is where I was talking about earlier about that slight influence was in play. Excuse me. I know a lot of you know Scotty or Spidey of the Arena Boys. Scotty Arena. Before he got really hardcore back into Pokemon and everything, he was a Boba Fett super collector. I know he loved his Nico Horner stuff. What else? There was Boba Fett, Nico Horner, I think Gleyber Torres, and I forget what else. Anyway, but I know he is a Boba Fett super collector. So I did a little digging about the whole super collecting thing, And in most forums, or whatever you want to call it, super collecting is where you PC a certain player, and it's when you hit, I think, 300. In most now, they've kind of dropped it down under 300. But when I got into it, it was 300, or was it 350? I forget. Anyway, 300 unique cards of said player. I was like, okay. Now, Brodeur, playing since the early 90s, and they're still putting out Brodeur cards now. I figured, I think that should be pretty easy to do. And lo and behold, I just started going on a tear of collecting Brodeur stuff. In fact, you guys right now are sitting on top of my Brodeur PC. You're sitting on top of a 3,200 count box. Anyway, and yeah, I just started getting, a lot of like his common base stuff. Has a lot of inserts, insert stuff. So it was really easy to ramp up the 300 pretty quick. And then after that, things started getting a little more harder to do, because it starts getting hard to keep track of what I have and what I don't have. That's where Trading Card Database came into play. And being a guy who works at night, or when I come home during the day and basically don't have a life because I work at night, going on Trading Card Database daily is pretty easy for me. So when I entered my whole PC into the database and then started looking over a bunch of stuff that, I'd never even seen before, that's when I started making trades with people or buying lots and whatnot. And so that's why now I'm sitting at 947 unique Brodeurs and counting. And when I started creeping up into like the 600 or 700 range, then we started getting a little further past the, base and regular insert stuff. And then we started getting into the autograph stuff, the memorabilia stuff, the little more pricier cards. And that's why I amassed cool stuff like this, sweet autograph. Well, actually, this was a eBay snipe, but still, sweet autographs, sweet patch cards. Let's see what I mean. Ed Belfour, Curtis Joseph, great 90s goalies. What else? Just really cool numbered stuff. This is numbered to 500. Clear cut, like acetate stuff. This was from Instagram. This is Team Canada. Four color. Oh, well, it's all the same patch probably, but four-way, whatever you want to call it. Or you could go with ingrained and do like manufactured stuff. Like, once you get past a certain part of a player who has a lot of cards, then you start getting into like, the bigger stuff. So, but even though Brodeur autos and whatnot can fetch a pretty penny, you could still find some for a decent price. So, and if you guys want to see the actual bulk of the Brodeur PC, allow me. Pull the top off here. Now, can I switch this around while recording? I'm going to try. Hey, cool. All right, so there's the bulk. These are all like regular, inserts. Oh, there's his rookie. Inserts. There's the U.S. rookie. Scores in red. So that's actually, sorry, that's the Canadian rookie. Scores in red. U.S. rookie, scores in blue. I don't know how many times I've said that in videos, but I know you guys probably know that already. Anyway, so all base and whatnot. Over here, yes, that's still a unopened 2021 high number Topps Heritage Baseball pack that I got from Adrian. Yeah, League of Her Own. And from what I know, apparently this is a hot pack. So, but still sealed. Still sealed. Will I ever open it? I don't know. Maybe. Over here, this is all insert stuff. So, as you can see, I still need a lot of top loaders because I'm eventually trying to top load everything. Here, this is all numbered stuff. So, like that's numbered to 299, manufactured stuff. It's dual number to 1500. Luongo when he was still playing with the Islanders. You know, Hardware Heroes, various years, finites, you know, various. This is all numbered stuff. There's the two patch cards that I know everyone loves. So yes, I'll take it out for your viewing enjoyment. A random slab in there. Well, actually, I'm actually in the process of getting a new slab case, and all my high-end Brodeur autos and whatnot are going to go in that specific case to make more room for in my original slab case. And all this stuff, this is well, that's a autograph booklet and 6-way patch, and these are all like patch cards and whatnot. Oh, there's an autograph. Huh, I didn't take that one out. Huh, okay. Yeah, patch cards and whatnot. So, yeah, that's the bulk of the Brodeur PC, as I said. And so that's hockey. Now let me put you on the stand here. This is going to be a long video, but Brandon said he didn't care how long the video was, so you've been warned. So yeah, so this is the bulk of the PC when it comes to an individual hockey player IPC. Now when it comes to baseball, I got another box down here. So let me put the top back on the Brodeur PC here. And actually, hold on. I'm going to put you guys down here. And there we go. And I'll move this box over here. And we'll get into some baseball. Smaller box. Shoebox. Because the baseball player IPC, one, the PC hasn't gotten out of hand yet, like with Brodeur, but also a lot of his stuff is more vintage stuff, and his autographs alone are very expensive. It's a lot easier to PC his grandson. That should be a hint of who I PC in baseball. So, if you're wondering, it's none other than Mr. 8 himself of the Boston Red Sox, Mr. Carl Yastrzemski. That's my baseball PC, main PC. Why Carl Yastrzemski? Well, because Babe Ruth is too darn expensive. Excuse me. No. My grandfather was a huge Babe Ruth fan. And I have Babe Ruth cards. In fact, I have quite a few Babe Ruth cards, but it's all modern stuff. The oldest Babe Ruth card I have is a 1960 Fleer PSA 2. And I was pretty happy with that because it was another eBay snipe. But yeah, my grandfather's favorite player, Babe Ruth, hands down. And I remember talking, you know, when we would talk baseball, like always, Babe Ruth, Babe. No one was better than Babe Ruth. Now, years later, talking with my dad was always a lifelong Expos fan since we live in Montreal. But when it came to other players, Dad loved Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Willie Stargell and Mickey Mantle, you know, all the greats. But I don't know. He also had a soft spot for Carl Yastrzemski. And when I got old enough to actually look into these players and everything, and seeing like how Carl Yastrzemski was a lifer to the Red Sox, and you know, seeing that he was, when he came up in his rookie season, like everyone was putting the pressure on him because he was supposed to be like the next Ted Williams. Because Ted Williams was going out, Yaz was coming in, and when Yaz was coming up, Ted Williams was also like his mentor or teacher or whatever, you know? So there was a lot of pressure on him and everything, and he overcame a lot of that. He had his own demons and what, not talking drugs or anything, but I mean just family-wise, that's a whole other rabbit hole to go down. And I found out about some of that actually while talking with the spaceman, Bill Lee, at a card show. And he was telling me a whole bunch of stuff about Yaz and everything. And I was like, wow, I never knew that. Anyway, I'm going so off topic, sorry. But after finding out, you know, about how, you know, his whole career was with the Red Sox, and he was the 67 Triple Crown winner, and like for the longest time up until Miggy won it in like 2012 he did it? I forget. Anyway, you know, he was the last one to do it. People had come close, but they weren't able to. So a lot of that stuff made me like say to myself, like, wow, Yaz is cool, man. So again, going with the not super collecting, but just PCing in general. Anytime I was able to find like Carl Yastrzemski stuff, I would go after it. And then it's only as of recently I started getting like some of the memorabilia stuff. I do have an autograph, and it's a beautiful one at that. And it's the only Yaz auto I own right now. I would love to get my hands on more in the future, but again, Carl Yastrzemski's autograph is pretty pricey. But yeah, it's only as of recently I started getting like the autograph or the memorabilia stuff. But prior to those, it's always just been like you know, die cuts or inserts like that. And then while collecting Carl Yastrzemski, his grandson, Mike Yastrzemski, for the longest time since his rookie season in 2018, he was with San Francisco, and just a couple days ago he got traded to Kansas City. I was like, I'm going to see what kind of stuff Mike has. And I've amassed a nice little Mike Yastrzemski PC. I'm going to turn the camera around again. So, all this is Mike Yastrzemski, and that's one of two autographs I have. That's from Topps Archives. And behind that, all the way to the back, is all Carl Yastrzemski. So this is the Yastrzemski aisle, whatever the heck you want to call it. Over here, this is all a mix of stuff. Although, this chunk right here, this is a mix between Cole Caulfield and Carey Price. And then all this stuff is just random stuff. Like, there's a second year Crosby Ovechkin. I just got that, which is pretty cool. This is, that's a Dennis Eckersley autograph. Very cool. That's a Brock Purdy red. It's like, I got random stuff, but PCs, mini PCs, whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll put you back down here. All right. But, yeah, that's about it. I mean, again, like I said, I collect a little bit of everything. Cards, hockey, baseball, the bit. Funko Pops, as I showed them quickly. I'll show them, why not? Yeah, I'm watching some YouTube. That's actually Sarah's GPK Chaos. She's actually pretty funny. She's pretty cool, actually, if you're into GPK stuff. Also, watch Hollis, another Hollis build, GPK. Awesome. Anyway, I turn this around. So, yeah, there you go. There's some Funko Pops up there. That's my whole Tim Hortons collection. It's going back to 2019 up to currently the retrospective. I got my Mechagodzilla 6-inch pop up there guarding them. If you're wondering what those are around them, those are wax molds. Let me see if I could zoom in. Oh, I can. Oh, is it going to focus? Come on. Well, anyway, yeah, those are wax molds that I got when I was in Detroit last year. I went to the Henry Ford Museum, and they have these machines there called Moldoramas, and these things go back to like the 60s and 50s. And yeah, you pay $5 and you could get a wax figurine. Well, I got Henry Ford up there. You got Henry Ford. I got a Ford F-150, the Model A. Focus! A Model A, a Mustang, and that blue one up there in the back. That's an NHRA hot rod. And yeah, again, another thing that I'm obsessed with, although Moldoramas are very hard to find. If I could collect them, I will. And I actually have, well, down there in that box, there's more Moldoramas in there that I've gotten from people on Facebook, because I'm in an actual Moldorama page. So from, I think it's Chicago, or I forget where it is. I forget what zoo it is. And they have a bunch, and I got some in there. I had, up here at one point, it was the first one I got when we were in Detroit. The first Moldorama machine you see when you walk in is for the Oscar Mayer Weenie Mobile. And I was so excited to get it. And over time, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the climate here in Montreal. But over time, when I had it on the shelf, the side that wasn't facing you, the other side, a huge hole, a crack formed, and it made a hole in it. And I was just like devastated. I was like, oh no. I also had an Allegheny steam engine. Same thing happened. A hole formed on the top of it, and that was it. It was ruined. So, but luckily, I got another Allegheny. It's down there in that box that I just showed you. But I got to get another Oscar Mayer Weenie Mobile to go with the collection. Eventually, one day, I'll get one. And I really got to make it out to Chicago one day, because the Science Museum out there has a bunch of Moldorama machines, and I really got to hit those up. Anyway, so yeah, basically, if you can collect it, I'm gonna, if it could be collected, I'm gonna collect it. Also, that's my collection of lanyards from Comic-Cons and card shows and whatnot. So yeah, I collect a lot of stuff. that's my tribute shelf to Lemmy from Motorhead. I got everything in, obviously the Jack Daniels stuff. That's his autobiography. Got that really nice bottle of Motorhead whiskey. 2 of the Lemmy Funko Pops, although I don't have all of them. One's a regular one, and the other one in the background is a bronze one, which is actually an homage to his statue they unveiled at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in L.A. But there's another Motorhead, there's another Lemmy Pop. It's an older Lemmy where he's wearing sunglasses and everything. I still need that one. And there's a Funko Pop of the Motorhead, the logo, the War Pig. I still need that one. And when I do eventually get them, they'll be going on that shelf as well. Down here, excuse me, that's a mix of Marty Brodeur stuff and comic-related stuff. I'm still a huge fan of The Punisher. Also, if Freedom Sufferer's watching this, you zoom in there, Macho Man is poking out. That's a 90s wrestling figure I bought at a Comic-Con one day, and or one year, and I put him in there. If I could get around the glare, there's the Yaz rookie card. There's my 66 mantle, my very first ever PSA 10, and I submitted that to Henrik Lundqvist rookie, Parkhurst rookie. And behind Yaz, that's a 9.5 Jacques Plante UD retired canvas I got from my good buddy Andrew. And of course, he's propped up against Megatron. Got some other various stuff in there, some Fenway dirt. I won't bother grossing you out about what's in that biohazard bag. I kind of grossed out Aaron on Aloha Friday last week, telling him what's in there. If you really want to know, go check it out. Down here, another variety shelf. I do dabble in die-cast every now and then. I got all my collectible signed pucks in there, various card sets and whatnot, and then, well, I already explained what's down there. Got more pops under the bed, just don't have shelf space for them. That box down there is all my Magic the Gathering decks that I actually kept, because Magic, I say, is a kind of a game that's like a roller coaster, you know? You play it for a while, you stop, you go a couple years, someone comes out of the woodwork and they go, "Hey, you know how to play Magic?" You play for a while, you stop. So that's why I always kept a box of decks handy. That's the slab case I was talking about. And, well, that's the background you're used to. That's all my upper deck sets, Series 1 sets. So, starting with 2015-16 Series 1, and then I found that by fluke at a Walmart, but officially I started collecting hockey cards, like the upper deck sets, from 2018 to current. So, yeah, got some, various books, because I do like to read. So, of course, any sport book collection has to have Ball 4. Of course, Mankind's first book, Mick Foley's first book, Have a Nice Day. Ken Reed, Hockey Card Stories. I cannot say it enough. If you've not read those, read them. They're so good. And then, of course, I like other stuff. So, of course, I have a book about the 27 Club. I love rock and roll music, and I love music history. And, of course, the 27 Club is very infamous. It's a unofficial club of rock and roll stars who unfortunately passed away at the age of 27. So Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Brian Jones, etc., etc. And then up here, I have both of Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park books, Jurassic Park and Lost. Is it Lost World? The two books. Anyway, the Jurassic Park books, and a lot of other various stuff. Yes, I still have unopened packs of GPK OS 14 up there. And there's old Frankenduck from back in October. And more GPK over there too. And, well, you don't need to see. That's garbage. Anyway, so there you have it, folks. Oh my God, 46 minutes and counting. I think this is going to be the longest video I have ever done. I hope some of you out there actually take the time to watch it. I know Brandon will, because I know Brandon loves long videos. But to anyone else out there, I hope you take the time to watch. Watch for like 5 minutes so the view counts. That's all. If you don't want to watch it after that, don't worry. It's okay. I understand. Or do like my buddy Joe does. Put it on like 2 times speed, and you'll get through it faster. Anyway, I'm not telling you how to watch your videos. Well, technically, anyway. But all in all, hope you enjoyed this video. Brandon, I hope this says enough. To those of you who stuck around right to the very end, hope you enjoyed this very in-depth look of my little corner of chaos here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. If you did enjoy it, awesome. You know, do the whole thumbs up and all that routine, as all the big YouTubers say. But let me know what you liked about the collection. You know the routine. Sound off in the comments below. As well, make sure to dip on down into the description of this video, because there is a link down there to Brandon's channel. Take part. Do a VR. I'd love to see him. So far, I've only seen Cash and Dad's entry. I'm trying to see if anyone else has done one yet. But when I put VR, I'm seeing a lot of like virtual reality videos and stuff. So I'm thinking maybe he's the first one. But I know Brandon said he's going to put a playlist together. So that's probably going to make it a heck of a lot easier. But yeah, go check out Brandon's channel. Because not just for this contest, but go check out his stuff. Excuse me. One video that he did just recently was actually some mail he got. And if you're like me and you like Garbage Pail Kids and whatnot, you're going to want to check it out, because he got hit with the mother load of GPK stuff, and I'm still kind of jealous of it. But yeah, he got a lot of cool stuff, and he's just a cool dude. He's a good dude. So go show him some support. Again, like I said, he's sitting at around 540-ish subs. So another 60-something to go, and he'll be hitting that 600 mark. So I really can't wait to see him hit that. And all in all, Brandon, congratulations on hitting the 500 mark, man. I know 500 is a big mark in a lot of things, especially in sports, whether it's the 500 home run club, the 500 goal club, etc., etc. 500's a big deal, man. So Couldn't have happened to a better guy. All right. I've recorded long enough. My throat is starting to feel a little hoarse, but thankfully I still got some coffee here. Now I'm going to go back to watching some more YouTube. Maybe watch some more national stuff, because I'm addicted to it right now. Seeing all that vintage stuff, man. Wow. Anyway, and good luck to all of you out there who enter. Of course, like I always say, I hope I'm the one who wins, but just joking, just joking. And, excuse me, when it comes to, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, because again, I don't know how many people are actually going to stick around to the very end to watch. Basically, Brandon's giveaway style is he's doing box battles, and there's 5 different boxes to choose from. There's Pirates of the Caribbean, Marvel, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, and Harry Potter. And Harry Potter is going to be interesting, because if you choose Harry Potter, Brandon's going to get his wife in on the action, and she's going to be ripping that, so that should be very interesting. And basically, you just got to pick a box, left or right. Brandon, you made it very hard, because your choices are awesome. And again, after watching Cash and Dad's entry, seeing those Ninja Turtle cards, they're pretty damn nice. Now, seeing all 5 boxes seem to be from the same company. When you mentioned Transformers, I was like, ooh, I think I got to go with those. So, if I am lucky enough to be part of any of the box battles, I'm going with Transformers, and I'm picking the right side, just because I write with my left hand. Right hand. You get it. Anyway, this was a long video. It's taken a lot out of me. But yes, I'm going Transformers, right box, because I write with my right hand. There we go. All right, folks. 52 plus minutes. I think that's long enough. So I hope you guys have a great day. Also, if you want to, the subscription button down there, if you want to click it, be my guest. You don't have to if you don't want to, though. But if you'd like to, click it. And if you do, click the little bell next to it, so it lets you know when my videos go live. Alrighty? Cool. So that's it. Again, congratulations, Brandon, on 500. Look forward to seeing more entries. Good luck to everyone who does enter. And you guys have a great day. So, till next time, folks, to all of you out there watching, I say, see ya!